Notts County Talk, welcome back to the Pavis Perspective. It's episode 109. I think this puts us pretty much at the halfway stage of the League Two season, which is crazy. I was seeing some videos earlier, all the way back in May when we got promoted. It is a very, very long time ago. As always, we are powered by Better Bytes Computers. You will have seen the code Pavis Perspective at the start of the video. Use that for discounts on computer refurbishments or indeed refurbished computers. Fantastic fan-owned, not fan-owned business. George, I'm surprised. I'm joined by you tonight. How are you doing?
Yeah,
only 109 episodes with you.
Unbelievable, really, isn't it?
It is. It's not bad.
I remember when we came up with the idea, and it just doesn't seem that long ago to just sort of do it as a sort of podcast-ish format, and then we've gone on from there. But yeah, I'm doing all right. A bit windy in it out. A bit windy about. What's the storm called? I remember.
Pia or something like that.
They've always got good names, don't they?
They always have good names. So someone's put in here. Where is it? Royston greets from a windswept Leicestershire. Honestly,
I was in Leicestershire today. Very windy.
Yeah, very, very windy today. Very windy. Evening Stockport official. I don't think it's the official Stockport, but Adam.
I think it is.
I don't think it is. Well, let's say it is. Evening Dave Challoner. Evening Ian, Indica, Stephen, David, Gerald, Len, Derek, Callum, just on the Christmas food shop. All I can say is you're a hero, Callum. Absolute hero. Talkie United Reacts, another hero. It's not even support Notts in your every week. It must be George. It must be George. Mackie Horizon, another one of our channel members. It's not Challoner. No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
It looks official.
We'll call you Charlie, though. We'll call you Charlie. John and Paul. We should have the Scarf Bagara War, also known as County Podcast, coming on later. Charlie's just put that. We should have. We've arranged it. We're just waiting on them to join. Maybe they've been blown away by the wind. You never know. You never know. Just like Stockport are going to be blown away on tomorrow night by Notts.
Notts' defence.
I'm not hopeful. Blown away by how easy it is to walk through us. Oh goodness me, it's a nightmare. Isn't it? Just thinking of that Stockport. Stockport only scored 8 at the weekend anyway, so it's all right.
Yeah.
Plenty to talk about. Fantastic trip to Harrogate. Saw some beautiful football on show. Some really confident defending, goalkeeping. It was just a joy to behold. And then Notts also played as well. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about our poll question, which is quite an important one. George, have you got that up today?
I've got it up today.
I think it's a really interesting question that we'll talk about quite a lot. But what is it?
How many signings do we need to make in January? 0, 1 to 2, 3 to 4, or 5+?
It's an important one. This is revolutionary. The streaming software we use can only put up, as you'll see here, YouTube comments.
There we go.
Hang about. We've got comments from X there. What's going on? What is going on? We have Spotify comments from the future next.
Elon Musk.
We will. Now, that's class, to be fair. So we can interact with the people listening on X. So love that as well. Right then. Stockport, Friday night before Christmas. It's a very late pledge, but I'm still looking for a couple of tickets. That is going to happen now. DM if you can get us a couple of tickets, but Stockport have been a bit stingy with theirs. Season of giving and all that, and they've not done it. But I answered a few questions for a Stockport written blog earlier, and they basically said he's scared. Are you? I wouldn't say scared, but are you concerned by this? What are you thinking? Are you concerned by it?
Yeah, I think it would be silly not to be. I watched their extended highlights on Tuesday or Wednesday, and they absolutely tore through Sutton. Absolutely tore through them. And obviously, Sutton might not have the quality, and they might have had a bad game, but 8-0 is a crazy result to have in like a league game. if it's a bad performance or not. Like if bad performance, you're thinking 2 or 3-0, not 8-0. Wotton was looking good. One player I think he's going to cause us absolute nightmares, and it's probably one of the obvious ones, but Paddy Madden. He got his hat trick, didn't he? But other than that, like the amount of chances that he created, I think they hit the woodwork 3 or 4 times. It could have been double figures. It really could. So it's if they get an early goal on Friday, I dread to think what could happen, to be honest.
I listened to a podcast last week, and this bloke was on it, and he said he reckons Sutton could get something.
Who was that?
I was at the game with my dad, the Harrogate game, and I said, Dad, do you remember last week when you watched that video and George said Sutton might get something? And I was like, yeah, if they got something. I showed my dad, it's 6-0.
Yeah, you pretty much did the same thing to me, because I was only keeping tabs on our score, and you messaged me like that was a good call, saying Sutton could get a result away at Stockport. Looked at final result 8-0.
You said if you could get any team fired up to play top of the league, it's them, and the manager's been sacked as well. Like, you've completely done them over. Prediction of the season, but I didn't do too well. I said clean sheet within 6 minutes. I was filming the Harrogate players celebrating, so it's not good, is it? But yeah, they've gone and put 8. I genuinely think that performance was coming not from Stockport, from Sutton. Like they're pretty much finished, aren't they? Like, I don't think they're gonna stay up this season at all. Like, they've just been absolutely battered. And yeah, it's top v bottom, and Stockport are good, but you don't expect top of the league to be bottom of the league 8-0. Like, it's not.
Stockport was struggling, weren't they? Leading up to
Yeah,
that game.
yeah. So it's a bit of a disaster. A bit of a disaster. It's an absolute howler from their point of view. But then we get our game, and I was confident. I really was confident. Like, last week, I was on here saying I'm going to change my tune. I'm going to be more positive about things. And I really was. And I saw the defence line up with Brindley, Chickson and Baldwin, and I was still confident. How wrong was I? How wrong was I?
The problem we've got now is, I think, confidence is gone. It's gone. It's probably at an all-time low, and it's how do we uplift it? I'm talking obviously about the players, but I think the fans as well. I think when that lineup was released on Saturday, I thought, oh no. To be honest, I thought this is going to be a difficult game.
What did you think? What did you think when the lineup was announced?
Oh no.
I was vlogging and I said I'll feel a clean sheet.
Yeah, you put it in our chat. You think it was going to be 3-0 or something, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think in hindsight, it's probably a terrible call from yourself. But I mean, we didn't have the best of weekends in terms of predicting results.
Well,
yeah, I mean, look, we're missing Cameron, the captain. We're missing McGoldrick, who I think we probably both agree hasn't sort of. He's not exactly like ripped it apart as if or not. So he's done well. I think he's obviously got those high standards because of the player that he is and the sort of career he's had. He's been very good for us, but we also feel like there's another gear that he could definitely get into. So I do feel like we missed like 2 really key players, to be honest. And that's alongside all the other injuries we've got. Yeah, that's where I think our downfall was, really.
Yeah. The football's so funny because I was literally, I filmed myself getting to the ground. Like, I think it was 15 minutes before kickoff. Yeah, I think it was 15 minutes before kickoff, and I said,
21 minutes later.
No, generally 15 minutes before, maybe even 10 minutes before. I was walking to the ground, parked up the car on the residential street, and I was like, I'm feeling really confident, 3-0. And I got in there, and within 30 seconds, we passed it out of play, and I turned to my dad and I said, "Here we go again." It was not good. Yeah, it wasn't good. Paul says we need to play a more defensive game and frustrate them, play 5-4-1. We'll go on to what needs to happen very, very shortly, but I want to be coming on here and taking positives from the game, and the only positive from the whole game was Jody Jones, and he scored an unbelievable free kick. But Warsaw second half and first half, we didn't really look like scoring. And in this game against Harrogate, we didn't look like scoring, and we scored from a set piece. That's now, like, it's okay conceding all these goals if you score, but we're now not even scoring. Because I think that the mistakes at the back, it's obvious. Obviously, they just seep into the rest of the team. Like, how can you do your job if you're constantly worried about defending? At points, Dan Crowley was sat on the defensive back line, picking the ball up. What's he going to do? Charlie says positive. Toby gets 30 minutes out for a couple of games. Actually, Toby was really good. He was really good. He, for me, if he's fit, starts over Aaron Man at the minute.
Yeah.
So
that's I think that's the. He's a bit of a beacon, isn't he? Really, at the minute, Jody Jones. Because I think in the games where I'm thinking myself of Walsall, because obviously I couldn't make Harrogate. He was the standout player and the player that was trying to get the game, back on terms and getting the game by the scruff of the neck. To be honest, but it's just, I don't know. Something's just not ticking, is it? It's not.
Well, James says here the attacking players losing confidence is probably more worrying than the defenders, as we are already shipping plenty of goals. If we aren't creating going forward, what are we doing? You have to agree. Like, what's going on at the minute? Like, that's a worry, because we had the opportunity to outscore teams, but in that game, at some points they put 3 players on Jody Jones because I think they just realised A, he was fantastic and would create chances, and B, there was no need to put players on anybody else. I said it in my vlog. You could have put Mac on a desert island and he'd have been less isolated than he was up front for that first 60 minutes, 65 minutes. I mean, I've got lots of theories about what we could do tactically, but at the end of the day, I'm just a fan. Like, I don't actually know how it would play out, but I feel like we have to try something new. 65 minutes, we went to a 4 at the back, and we were the better team, just about the better team. I mean, we created more chances. But do you go 4 at the back all the time? I think Luke Williams said that they have been looking at it in training, but I don't really know, because we're bare bones in midfield as it is. Someone's put here, Job on Saturday, run out of fuel at the end of the game. He gives it 110%, but you're right. And we've got John Bostock, who's been bought off on 60, 65 minutes every week. You can't make the full 90. So you've essentially got a midfield that haven't got the engine to play the full 90 minutes. Dan Gosling, Georgie, he's not going to be staying, is he?
It doesn't look like it, to be honest, does it? I think it was probably... I don't know. You don't know what the honest plans were with that. Was it just sort of bring him in and just have someone there just in case we really desperately need a central midfielder? Was the plan to bring him in and hope he hit the ground running and start him playing and then extend his contract? You don't really know. I mean, it is strange because he's not really played, and I think what's he got left? About 15, 16 days of his contract, is it? Is it the 6th of January it expires or the 1st? I think it's the 6th rings a bell for some reason.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, Ian G says here, Gosling's never been more than 50% fit, and
that's generous thing.
Yeah, but I mean, in the position that we're in, where we lose at that moment in time as well. Bostock was injured, as well as Matty Palmer, so our midfield had gone. So we sort of looked to strengthen as much as we could. And to be honest, I said it on the channel as well. I think for the position we were in, it's probably the best option that we had, with limited risk, because you can bring in a young player from somewhere that's trying to get his break in football, but you're chancing a lot there. Whereas with someone like Gosling, it's he's done it on the probably one of the biggest stages, well, the biggest stage I think in the world, in the Premier League.
But on paper, it's a great sign on paper, and
yeah.
And if you're looking at percentage chances, you sign someone of good Gosling's like caliber, even if they're not fit, more times than not, it's going to work. This just hasn't worked so far. You never know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
never know. Fraser said Bostock came off and replaced him with Toby. Yeah, that's when we changed formation. Fraser, we changed to a 4 at the back. I think it was a 4. That's when we went to the 4. Yeah. Kay says, I think this transfer window will show our owners' real intentions. Yeah, I do think it'll be a telling transfer window, definitely. I mean, we're going to go into Christmas minimum 6th, minimum 7th, I think. I think it's 7th into Christmas. And into the new year, if we can stay in that spot, that player spot, we'll be doing okay. What other comments have we got? Milkman Hero Macro is 18-1 for a brace Saturday. Big ask fees, get no service, but he's not broken his leg. Yeah, that is massive odds for Macro to get a couple of goals. It really, really is. George, did you see the goals back? I can't hear you, matey. You've had a bigger stinker than the Notts defence. I think we might have lost him again. We'll see. It looks like he might have gone. Let's have a look. Lost him. But get your questions in. 2 weeks on the trot for George. We've lost him. Looks like he might be back. No, he's not back with sound. Awful. If you listen on Spotify, George is like a fish out of water, panicking. So get some questions in. I'll answer them while we get George, and hopefully get someone from the Stockport County podcast, which we had arranged, but they don't seem to be here just yet. Freddie said, yeah, moved Austin into midfield. He's never a midfielder. All those early errors make it harder for the defence to do their job against Harrogate. Let's see if we got him back. So cross fingers. Let's see if George is back. Is he there? Someone said, Milton says, best get calling better bites, George. Give Kev a call up, see what's going on. See what's happening. Right, we've lost him again. George, as reliable as his clock's time, says Callum. He's having a nightmare, isn't he? Let's have a look. I've seen a comment up here that says, and I'd like to know what people think about this. I've seen a comment that's saying go in the home end, because I did receive a message from a Stockport fan a few weeks ago. I went on X and I put a post up saying I was looking for Stockport tickets, and someone on X said that they could get me some Stockport tickets in the home end. What's people's thoughts on that? Because for me, I don't think I'd ever go in the home end, especially in a massive game like that. I mean, if it was to get Notts promoted, then I'll give it a go. But just in general, I would not be on for sitting in the home end, especially trying to do a vlog in the home end and celebrate as Lewis McCorry scores a last-minute header. Like, that's not going to happen. So let me know what you think. Would you go in the home end for an away game? Right, let's have a look. Have we got him? I don't think we've still not got him. Talking out of reacts, channel mascots chewed the wires up at George's end. He's having an absolute stinker. He's having an absolute nightmare. Yeah, George had a nightmare. Don't bother, says Mackie Horizon. Yeah, Milton, how can you sit at home and record without causing an issue? Yeah, it just wouldn't happen. Definitely wouldn't happen. Fraser, I don't think you'll be cheering tomorrow, so you'll be fine in the home end. I mean, I agree. Lucas, in my opinion, that's a no-go. I'm way too passionate and shout too much at games to sit in the opposite end. I think it's a risk. I think it is a massive risk to do that. I wouldn't do it anyway. James says, not going to lie, I think we're going to get battered. I think... I don't know. I don't want to be negative. I think there's going to be goals in it. James says, can George let us know who the internet provider is so we know never to go near it? I'm not sure who it is, but we can find out if he ever returns this evening. Are opposition fans allowed to sit in the home section? If they are not, found out, I suppose. I mean, how would they know? As long as we're not going in black and white and with Notts County scarves. So I think it'll be fine. Adam, we were tempted to go in the home end due to lack of away tickets available. There is very, very few away tickets available. I don't know how many. If someone can let me know exactly how many away tickets have been given, that would be interesting. But I didn't even personally know they were on sale until Notts tweeted that almost all away tickets have gone, and then I had a little scramble. But we've done well to sell out, and it's a massive, massive game. So let me know what you think. Milkman Hero, hate to bring up last season, but it's quiet. I'm still hoping the channel visits are wimpy to make up for last year's snub. It was quiet last year, but I'm pretty sure not. The fans have been moved away from that end without the roof. Which would be good, but I mean, last year was a shocker. If you think back to last year's game, if anyone can remember the absolute calamity from Jaden Richardson, who they've now, I think he's still at Stockport with possibly the worst miss I've I've ever seen. Rounded the keeper, and then he just had to tap it in, and it all went wrong from there. And he missed another sitter, and then I think Paddy Madden just started running the game. Right, we've got George. Can everyone cross their fingers, and we'll find out if his internet provider is getting into work. George,
am I there?
Yes, you're there.
Oh my! I don't know what was going on then. It was
Who's your
perfectly fine.
internet provider?
Virgin.
Call them out.
No, my internet was fine. Everything else was working. It's like, I don't know. That was so strange. You know, if my internet dropped out, fair enough, but it didn't. I don't know what that was all about.
Oh, he's gone again. He's gone again. He's gone again.
You're lying.
Yeah, I am, yeah. Lucas says only gave us about 807, I think. George, I don't know if you saw the comments. People absolutely destroying you. Said you should be off the channel. Said replace him with Will. Someone said replace him with Jordan. No, they didn't really say that. But there we go. He's back. Milkman here. I think George is going to end up knocking on your door in a minute. If it did,
it's nice to know everyone's got my back. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, everyone's fully backing you.
I love that.
We were talking about George. I got a DM when I asked for tickets. Someone said they sit in the home end. Would you ever do that? I said if it was a promotion game and Notts had to win to go up, I would. I'm not going to go sit in.
I couldn't contain myself.
No. But some people have said it won't matter because we won't be cheering anyway. So,
yeah.
And they're Notts fans. I was going to tweet something earlier this week, and we'll get people's thoughts on this, and I just didn't get around to doing it. It would have been quite a long series of threads. There's loads of opinions going around about Notts at the minute, isn't there, George, from fans, about different ways we need to do things. I'm going to say I don't think anybody is wrong. I don't think, apart from those saying Luke Williams out, I think they're wrong. But I think everyone has some truth to their opinion. So let me elaborate. Those people that are saying we've just been promoted, this is going to happen, have truth in their opinion, like what they're saying. They do. On the flip side, those that are saying it doesn't matter that we've been promoted, we're a strong team, they have truth to their opinions. Those people that are saying we need to change it tactically, I mean, went to a 4 at the back and we were the slightly better side, and we've just been the same. And then those saying let's not change things because of one player's injury, how well we've been doing. I agree. There's so many different perspectives, and I don't actually think anyone's completely wrong. What do you think?
I mean, that's quite a broad statement, I think, to say that nobody's wrong. I think everyone's opinion differs, doesn't it? And football isn't like there's no, for me, like everyone says there's a right way to play football. There's a nice way to play football, or nice, like attractive way to play football, and there's a boring way to play football. And both, to be fair, have had success in the game right at the top. So that I don't think you can sit like it's not like a correct or wrong answer. Like maths, 2 + 2 is 4. In football, something happening, a sequence of things happening in the game, it's not like equal. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So yeah, opinions can differ, but I think some opinions can be quite harsh.
I do. I see where almost everything's coming from. Like, I know you couldn't make it to Harrogate. It was so bad. Like for that first half, it was. I know you don't just go to football to see a team win. You go for like the day. You go to support the team, the players. But like there were points in that first half where I just thought to myself, I'm always going to support Notts and go to the games I can like I'm able to attend. But it felt almost like what I can't believe I'm seeing this again. Like, what's that film? Groundhog Day. Like they're seeing the same things happen again. Passing the ball out of play, defensive mistakes. It's like it was very, very frustrating. There were people like arguing with me, not with me, so arguing behind me in the stand, like full blown arguments around me. And it just felt like it's really weird because we're 6th in a new division. So I think personally, everyone's point that I'm reading, I can see exactly. Like sometimes I can't see why people say things. You get an opposition like team that come to Meadow Lane or something and say we didn't deserve to lose, and you're like, I can't see where you're coming from. I can see where everyone's coming from. Like those people that say it will do well to survive, like that'd be a positive season. I see where they're coming from. Those people that say we shouldn't just be aiming for that, like myself, I see where I'm coming from. The only thing I don't get is we posted a video and within like 2 minutes, someone had put Luke Williams out, which is bonkers to me. Absolutely bonkers. There we go. Well, George, what do you think of this? I'd like to see Dan Crowley in the Matty Palmer role. We have enough players to play further up.
I mean, I don't know. I like Crowley where he plays, to be honest. I mean, if it works, it works. But to be honest, I wouldn't. It wouldn't be something that came to my mind as an idea to do.
I'd have George Vizard in the Matty Palmer role. I would.
Keep dropping out.
Exactly. Dropping in. They wouldn't know where you are. You keep counting the players in the pitch. There's only 10 at the minute. You'll just appear from somewhere. Jane, certain players totally ignored Williams on Saturday. No wonder he lost his voice. It did seem like he was talking to no one at times. Are you aware of what the Harrogate fans did every time Stone touched the ball? Did I mention that in the vlog?
No.
Full blown, all three stands were cheered every time Stone got the ball. Which is embarrassing. Like Harrogate fans are wanting to cheer. That was this tells you how many times Stone touched the ball. That was first half they were cheering. Somebody put in the chat, I can't remember who it was a while up, that he had 100 touches of the ball. If that's, I'm not saying it's not true, but I haven't seen the stat. If that is like the case, that's insane because no Notts player will have had that many touches, I'm sure. Callum's been a member for 5 months, so massively appreciate that, Callum. 5 months membership, you get lifetime paying support in Notts. Really do appreciate that, Callum. 5 months, is that how long we've been doing memberships? So thank you so much for that.
Flown, hasn't it?
It has flown by. It has flown by. And on November and December, coasters have gone out to those platinum members. So as a big thank you. George, I don't think we're getting a Stockport fan this evening.
It's not looking good, is it?
It's really not looking good. I wanted to hear their opinion.
I went on theirs as well the other night.
I know. I don't know what's going on.
Turn the favour. Upset.
I don't know what's gone off, but we're here without a Stockport fan. I know there's some Stockport fans in the chat. So we're almost going to be asking questions to you. What would your question have been? I don't know what my question would have been. I had one big question.
Go on.
Because at the start of the season, do you remember like the first 7 or 8 people, apart from the Sutton guy at the start, all predicted like big wins for Notts, no matter who we played.
Mm-hmm.
So they were obviously concerned about players. Now I'd be asking, are you even bothered about playing Notts? Because if I was in Stockport shoes now and I saw Notts and what was going on, I'd be like, nah, I'm not really that bothered. Even though we've got Macca, Didsy if he's fit, Crowley, Jody, like I really wouldn't be that concerned. Friday night at their place after an 8-0 win, just before Christmas, they're top of the league, Notts are shipping goals for fun. I wouldn't personally be very concerned playing Notts at all. So,
yeah, I think from our perspective, it's easy to think like that, isn't it? Because we've seen it week in, week out. But I think the headlines that we've had over the last sort of year or so, and how well we started. I think the teams will always sort of have that little bit of fear over us because I don't think it will be, but it could be a turning point on Friday. Sorry. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think recent results would say that they shouldn't, but they probably still would a little bit.
Yeah, I'm thinking obviously the coaching staff will be concerned. You can't not be concerned against any team in this league, especially one that's got Macca, Crowley, Jody. But like, as a fan, I just don't know. Comment here, what's happened to Slocum is your second choice to Stone. Slocum's second choice and Stone's second choice. We don't have a first choice keeper, but Slocum's injured at the minute. Tiernan Brooks can't come in until January the 1st. Tranmere away January the 1st. We're not going to sign anyone at midnight. Tiernan Brooks I'm saying it right now, regardless of the performances we see from Stone and Slocum, for me, January the 1st, Tiernan Brooks' name's on that team sheet. Absolutely no doubt. I mean, I say that. You could have 3 fantastic performances from Stone in a row, and that would probably warrant it, but I can't see it. I mean, I think back to their goals. I don't think he could have done anything about their goals, but the distribution wasn't there. Does Brooks start for you on January the 1st? Because we're not going to have a keeper in, are we?
Yeah, 100%. For me, like 100%.
Yeah, there's absolutely no question right now in my mind that he has to start.
There's no reason that, in my opinion, he shouldn't start.
Yeah, here we go. Pythagorean, Tiernan Brooks has to start. Yeah, definitely. Torquay United, I'm heading off now. Good luck to Notts and hope everyone has a good Christmas. Torquay, you've been here throughout the whole year. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. Torquay doing okay, aren't they? I'm not really sure where they are, but they're up near the top. Fraser says Brooks in. So it's not Stone's fault we keep passing back to him, though. No, it's not his fault at all. It really isn't Stone's fault that we keep passing back to him. And there's not really very much movement. But I mean, I look at their second goal. I said
he's made errors though. It's not like we're calling him out because he's getting the ball. He has made a couple of errors that have led to goals.
Yeah. Actually, the second goal he just spilt and they just tapped it in. So Lou Williams said the other day, "I'm not the best head coach in the world, and we don't have the best players in the world. But what we do is have some top mentality. It seems that mentality has been faltering a little lately.
Big time.
Where is that mentality? Like, we're just going to end the season with a whimper. I know we're halfway through, and we like football. We could end up first. Like, that's how football is. You could end up first. You could end up 15. Like, we don't know. Mm-hmm. But at the minute, we're just sliding out of the playoffs, and we're lucky we had such a good start to the season. I mean, like 2 months ago, George, we were sat on here talking about being top, and since then, it's not been going fantastically well. But football is a crazy, crazy game. So we're going to get into our team in a minute. And I think for me, this is going to be the most changes I've ever said to a lineup. I think.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. But let's go to our poll question, George. What's the...
Yeah, so the poll question this week is, how many signings do we need to make in January? Surprisingly, 4% have said 0. I mean, that they can't have been going to many.
Stockport fans.
Has to be. 1 to 2, 24%. So about a quarter of the vote. 3 to 4, 59%. It was obviously the majority. And 5 or more says 13%.
What do you think?
I think 3 and 4. I'm with the majority. I think this is something I was actually saying. I was speaking this and you weren't replying to me, so I thought my headphones had broken or something. But that's when I dropped out. I don't know what was going on. But someone said something like it'll be a telling window for the owners and their intentions and stuff like that. But you have to weigh that up with the club being sustainable. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone thinks the club being sustainable is a fantastic thing to hear. But then when the next window comes, it's like, we must spend big and we must bring in these players to secure this, that, and the other. I don't think that's how it's going to go down at all, to be honest. I really don't. I think we need 3 or 4. I don't think we'll get 3 or 4. I think we'll probably get 2. So
it's basically this, isn't it? This is what I'm thinking and you're thinking. That comment from Ian. I'd be amazed if we got 3.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, my ideal would be a keeper. I think we need a keeper. I think we need a tried and tested keeper, because that, for me, that is the difference. That the defense are already a little bit low on confidence. They're low on confidence. I think the whole team are low on confidence, but I think it started from the defense. The defense are making errors. The keepers have been making errors. We just need the first person on the pitch to just be solid and know that we can count on them. So I think we need a keeper. Like, that is the key for me.
Yeah. Is your Stockport fan currently live with Gab Sutton? Quite possibly. I don't think
ruthless.
that's it's Russ. I don't think we had Russ coming on with us. So yeah.
A goalkeeper, 2 centre mids and a striker. So what about centre backs?
Imagine we got quality midfield. Like, quality midfielders can change the way we have to defend. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was speaking to a Notts fan today, and they were sort of saying that it was naive to sort of go up and not really strengthen the defence too much. I know we bought Tipton and Macari in, but Tipton's he probably played about an hour in total since coming, and that being in the cup. Macari, absolutely class. Can't really fault that. But again, he's not had lots of game time. And when he has been good. But I think we're relying on a defence that got us promoted for the National League. We needed to give them the chance to see if they could perform in League Two. But I think it's fairly evident now that they can't. And if they can, it's a confidence thing. If we can't get confidence back, I don't know. It's so difficult. And it's not as easy as that player needs to go. He needs to go. He's rubbish or whatever. It's really not that easy. I don't think it's sort of like a head loss, isn't it? Like how do you regain confidence when it's gone?
But me and you sat here before the season even started and said, surely they've had to sign a defender. The season hadn't started. We hadn't even lost 5-1 to Sutton. That was so clear, was it not?
Yeah. No, yeah, we were. Yeah, you're right.
What if it gets to the end of January and we've only signed Macquarie?
I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm saying it as I think the emphasis on sustainability that was sort of talked about in the fan forum was talked about for a reason. I think that seed, I'm not saying it was like orchestrated or anything like that. I think they're just sort of putting it there that they're not going to be sort of spending at free will like previous owners did, just to secure promotion for that season, because that's not how they work. It's about incremental improvements, and if we finish in the playoffs or just outside the playoffs this season, it's obviously a decent achievement. It's a very good achievement, but we've seen already this season that we can do better than that. It's just about risk and reward, isn't it? It's risking, putting that money on the line to bring in no players that you hope will make that, difference to get the promotion. So you're financially rewarded for your risks, but
yeah,
hard. It's very hard.
I agree. 3 signings for me. I think we'll only get 2. I think Tipton will be going back. Why would Wolves even want to leave him with us?
Yeah,
I don't get the point of that. If there's a recall clause, surely it should have been used by now. I mean, I don't know. Mick Dundee says the defence is nowhere near good enough. I don't know. I can't say anything about Brooks. Brooks could come in and just not have the experience needed for League Two. He could come in and just be exactly the same purely because he's 22 years old and just not have that level of experience. He could come in and have that fearlessness about young goalkeepers where he just goes for it. We don't know. So I don't know.
I think sometimes you just gotta just do it. Do you know what I mean? I think the risk's limited because he's played for us. He's been on loan. He's shown qualities, and when he's been on loan, you hear a lot of good feedback. I think it's a really good option that we have when we're having an issue in that department.
It's true here. Pythagoras said Brooks good enough to be an under-21 international for Ireland. Throw him in.
I know, but I mean, yeah.
I think that's a good point. I think
it is a good point, but like, who would be in the under-21 for Ireland with the most respect? Like, I don't want to sound
Shay Given.
He's potentially one of the coaches there. I mean,
he's probably double the age. Yeah, but big pressure on Brooks. He's bought in, make or break.
Yeah, exactly, but that's what makes good footballers, isn't it? You can protect someone for so long, but Brooks has been sort of, in and around the squad for a long time now. His loan's expired at the club he was at. Like you said, to be fair, it is a decent point. He does get called up to, and it's good experience for him because that is fairly high pressure. You got a lot of talented youngsters in the under-21s.
I feel a lot better if he didn't get injured early on and he'd had like a real run in the team in Ireland.
Yeah, exactly. But that's just the way it goes. That is just football. Yeah. It would be ideal if you could bring in sort of, Edison from Man City and he'd be flawless, but that's not how it goes. Unfortunately,
I won't have him.
Who would you?
Taylor Brooks.
Shay Given.
I'd have Shay Given. I'd have Shay Given now at his age. I would command that area. He wouldn't take any messing. I'd have Roy Caroline. I just think we have to sign a defender. We have to sign a midfielder. If they're the only 2, we need 1 defender and 1 midfielder. If we can only have 2, like quality players, not just bodies. Bodies don't do anything for this side. Like we have to get someone in. Yeah,
that's the problem we've got though, because we've got players like Jody Jones, we've got Matty Palmer, Bostock, McGoldrick, Langstaff. All of these players' contract, they'll be decent contracts. We've been told that. That's why we've got a relatively small playing squad. So Bostock, people are talking about Bostock extension and that. I agree. I think he should get an extension. But then if you're bringing in, a player that's, up to speed at knots, and they want to be playing week in, week out, what happens when Matty Palmer comes back? Do you still give Bostock an extension? Because I don't think it's a case of being able to hand out contracts like that. I think it's a case of sort of not one or the other, but maybe not being able to bring in a player of the quality that's we already have, basically.
We've got barely any options in midfield, and still Kasper Sloth can't get into the starting 11. Like, that's just wasted wages. That's just wages of going down the drain. But no, you look, and you're probably going to lose the wages of Tipton. I'm sure we will be contributing something to Tipton's wages, and you're going to lose the wages of Gosling, aren't you? So there's a little bit of room there, I suspect.
Mick was saying, Mick Dundee just said, I've not actually spent any real money on players. Yeah, I think they obviously have. Yeah. Kedwin as well, played for Kedwin.
Yeah. Right, let's go for our lineup then, because this is and formation. What do we do? Can I give my formation first of all?
Go on then.
4-3-3. That's what we went to in the last 25 against Harrogate. Stone in goal because there's no option.
Yeah, have to go.
Slocum's injured. Well, what would happen right now if Stone got injured?
Kasper Sloth.
Probably. Well, would have to use the emergency. The EFL would let us use the emergency loan system. They would. And
it seems daft, really, doesn't it? With having turning on our books.
Maybe they would waiver that.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe they'd either let us do that or use the emergency loan, because they do that for every team. They wouldn't allow you to go without a goalkeeper. So I go 4-3-3. I go Stone in goal. I then go right back. Toby. Are you saying the same formation? If you're not, I'll run through my team first.
No, yeah, I think I'm going to.
Yeah, I'll go Toby. If they're fit, Kyle Cameron and Lewis Macquarie as the two central defenders.
I don't think Macquarie is. He's not.
Is he not?
No.
There you go. In a four at the back. And I don't think he was actually really an issue on Saturday. Aidan Baldwin. I think he was actually okay. Adam agrees with the 4-3-3. Like, he was the one trying to drive it out of defence. And every time Baldwin, because he is good at driving past players because he's quite strong, every time Baldwin got past the player, it pushed them back and created a gap. So I'm going to say Baldwin and Cameron if we're going a four at the back.
Yeah.
And left back, just let him just defend Adam Chickson. We don't have any other option.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree, yeah.
Midfield 3 then. We're light in midfield, so let's put an extra midfielder in there. Let's go for 3. John Bostock.
Jim. And Crowley.
Yeah. I just think Sam Austin and Crowley, there wouldn't be enough cover. I don't think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. And then I'm going Jody, Aaron Neman, and Macaulay Langstaff.
I like
Jody
that.
and Aaron on the wings.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Sorry, Mom.
So let's see what happens when Jody just goes. Not Jody. When Jody and Aaron are just allowed to be wingers. Let's just see what happens for a game. I'm not saying we stay like this. Like, when we get the players back, go back to the fulfilled formation. But wouldn't that be interesting just to say to those two, right, go on, attack them?
Yeah.
I would love to see that. I would rather see us go out and try something new and not get a result than stay our own way and not get a result.
Yeah, because then this is one of the questions I was asked on Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. This week's just been an absolute blur. Is Williams being too stubborn with formation and the style of play and stuff like that? And I said not really. Like, obviously, if it's worked for him, and it has worked for him, relatively recently, he's probably just staying true to it. But yeah, I think there does come a time when you do have to change it if it's not working.
Yeah.
But going back to sort of selection as well, I won't be too against Austin in for Crowley and then Crowley playing right wing instead.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Really interesting. Right. Remember, if you have any spare tickets to Stockport, please let us know. Currently, we're not going to be able to put a video up because we can't get tickets. So, yeah, if you do, just drop us a message, even if it's tomorrow morning, and we'll get back to you pretty quick. Ian, the man is winging his head anyway. Weak tracking back, and Lucky had Mackay behind him most of the time. JJ McGoldrick and Macca as a 3. Macca used to play wide. It could be interesting.
Yeah.
You wouldn't really know how to defend that, would you? Like, no one's got scouting on him playing like that for Notts. So there's our teams. Just mix it up. I mean, it's not a free hit. No game's a free hit when you sit 6th in the league. But it's an opportunity just to mix things up. I do feel like, and I'm happy to be proven wrong, I do feel like if we play with the same style we did on Saturday, we get hammered. Absolutely hammered. We don't have the personnel at the minute to do that. I mean, with the amount of injuries we've got. Right then. I love that. I just know Chickson's going to get his hat-trick. Right then, score prediction, George, for Saturday.
I hate to do it, Tom, but I think it's time.
Go on.
I'm going to have to say not struggle in this game. 2-1 Stockport.
I've never heard you do an opposition win ever. You're rattled, aren't you?
I'm not rattled. I've got to give my honest opinion on what I think the scoreline will be.
How do you see the game playing out?
I think it's going to be horribly cagey.
I'm going to go Stockport 3, Notts County 3.
Really?
We're gonna play 4-3-3. Yeah, sorry, Saturday. We mean Friday. Yeah. If you are going to the game, it is Friday, not Saturday. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Guy sends us a bill. George is realistic. Yeah. I'm putting it on the idea that we go 4-3-3 and just let Jody, Crowley, Aaron DeMine just go at them and just blow for blow, just slog it out and let Macca get his brace at 18-1.
If it's an early goal, could be a repeat of that season when Birchnell was manager.
Yeah, if it's an early goal, nightmare. 3-0 Notts, Stone hat-trick. 2-0 Stockport. Either Notts win or lose by at least 3. 3-1 Stockport. 2-0 Notts. 3-2 Stockport. 2-0 Christmas Miracle. 2-2 Friday night, 4-1 Boxing. We haven't even spoken about the Boxing Day game. I feel like the Boxing Day game hinges a lot on this. We won't even do a score prediction for the Boxing Day game. 3-4, Macca, then Chickson hat-trick, 8-7, 89, 93. Absolute scenes. Callum arrested and banned from football matches for being on the pitch. 2-0 Boxing Day. There you go. Stop fan agent, how many you've sold? Yeah, we're sold out completely. 807 or however many you've given to us. 5-1 Stockport, Wootton hat-trick. I haven't even spoken about him. This episode could have been 2 hours long.
Could.
Yeah, I agree with that, and we have to try something different. We've got a 6-3 Stockport, 6-0 Stockport tomorrow, and 2-0 Notts Boxing Day. It's going to be an interesting one. As always, if you have got a spare ticket, I've just said, please let us know. But I do think it's going to be a really, really interesting game. Really, really interesting game. We could have gone on for ages, but that's the end of tonight's Pavis Perspective. It is a little mid-season break for us with so many games coming over the Christmas period. We've obviously got Stockport on Friday tomorrow. We've got a Boxing Day game, we've got a 29th game, and we've got a New Year's Day game away at Tranmere. And we are taking a little break over Christmas. And we'll be back with a Pavis Perspective in the new year, but we will still have content for those 4 games. So, with the amount of games in such a short space of time, you'll get our views as always. Maybe have a Stockport video out if anyone can help us out. We will have Boxing Day content. We will have 29th and New Year's Day content. Thank you for watching. If you are traveling to Stockport tomorrow near Christmas, safe travels. Let's hope we can pull off that Christmas miracle that so many people are predicting in the chat. And as always, thank you to our channel members and especially our platinum members at the bottom. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel.